I was just having tea that day outside, and then I saw my friend. We were together in my previous organization, and but he was looking very dull, very sad, very nervous. So I decided to go to him and I said, "Hey, what happened?" He looked at me and said, "Praveen, I'm in big trouble." I said, "Hey, what's wrong?" He said, "I lost my job some six months ago, and I'm just last 6 months I'm trying my best, going here and there to find a job, but not getting it." And then he said something very painful. He said, "Even my friends, my family, even they have lost trust in me, lost belief in me. And sometimes I feel I should just give up." Now, the moment he said these words, I remembered the story which happened with me in HMI, and I learned something in that story. I learned that there will be a moment in your life where your body, your heart, your soul, your friends, your colleagues, they all will say that you can't do it. And then what you should say in this moment. And I learned this from my very good friend Vignesh, and I met him in HMI. Now, those who are not aware about HMI, it's Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, and one of the very oldest and toughest course in India if you want to learn mountaineering. And I still remember the day one of HMI in Darjeeling. They have a hostel there in Darjeeling. So phase 1 of HMI is in Darjeeling. So we were standing there, we were batch of 65 people, and we were standing in rows. They used to call us course. And in front of us, there were a line of instructors standing. Now, most of these instructors, not all, but most of these instructors, they are Everesters. They have done Everest. Now, there's one thing common in all the Everesters in the world. They love discipline. And then one course director said, "Course, the training will start from today. First, you have to start running 5 kilometers. And I thought, come on, I'm a half marathon runner, so running 5 kilometers is nothing. But running at that altitude and running here is a huge difference. So we ran 5 kilometers, we came back, and then the course director said, "Course, now you will do yoga." Okay, so we did yoga for 1 hour, and oh my god, we twisted our body. And then after 1 hour, when we were completely tired, then the director said, "Course, now take a break of 10 minutes. Go to your rooms, get fresh, eat breakfast, take a rest, and then come back." We looked at each other. So many things in 10 minutes. But I went to my room, and then the first time I met my friend Vignesh. He was my room partner. We were meeting for the first time. And then we just exchanged a few words and introduced ourselves. And after 10 minutes, again we went back to that assembly. And then they said, "Now you will go for a rock climbing." And they took us for a rock climbing. And then we learned various ways of climbing the rock and coming down. For the first time in my life, I saw there are so many techniques of climbing rocks and coming down from the rock. So till 2:30 we did rock climbing, and then after that, after a lunch break, they used to teach us theory about mountaineering. In the dark room, they used to teach us on board what are mountains and glaciers. So by 6:30 mentally we were tired. So by 2:30 physically we are tired, by 6:30 mentally we were tired. And we did this for almost 10 days. Every day same schedule, running, yoga, rock climbing, and then coming back, and then lectures, every day same. And after 10 days we were completely tired. And I still remember the 11th day morning, and the course director was standing in front of us, morning 5:30 a.m. in the morning around. And he said, "Coach, your actual training will start from tomorrow." We looked at each other. So what was this for last 10 days? From tomorrow we are going to start a trek to Ratong Glacier. It is Asia's 3rd toughest trek. You have to do this in 3 days. And you have to walk for 3 days with 25 kg weight on your back. This is how we used to walk. And then he asked, "Any questions?" Few people raised hands. So, "Can we go home?" But then we decided to go. There are hardly 2 to 3 dropouts. And then we were walking like this, and I still remember when we reached 14,000 feet, there's a place called Bakkim there. And when we reached Bakkim, there was one very small guest house. There was a big hole in the guest house, but we were so tired. It was day 2, and we were so tired. because of the weight, because of the inclined trek. We were very tired, and no one even bothered to ask the instructors or anyone that why this hole is there in the wall. And we slept inside. We just we threw ourselves in that sleeping bag. And 3 a.m. in the morning, someone stood and started shouting, "Run! There's an earthquake!" And then we realized that the whole guest house was shaking like this. And the Vignesh was just sitting, sleeping beside me, and he said, "I can't get up now. I'm so tired. Even if I die, I don't mind, but I will not get up. I don't have energy to get up." And hardly a few people actually went outside that guest house that day. And we saw in the morning that hole was this much. In the evening, previous evening, in the morning it was this much. Then we understood why there was a hole in the wall. Then on third day we reached Raton Glacier, HMI base camp, around 17,000 feet. And it was evening, and very soon by 6:30, 7 o'clock it was night. It was very dark. And then first time I saw heaven. Stars look so beautiful from that altitude. And when you see a star fall from here, from ground, from sea level, you see star fall like this. But when you see star fall from that altitude, you see star fall like this. Here, you actually see stars going down, and beautiful stars. And we were so happy in the night, but in the morning when we saw mountains, they were golden. I said, wow, we have really reached the heaven. And then the pain started. Again, we were standing in the course, and then the course director said, "Course, now you have to start walking again with the same weight, with those ice shoes, crampons, and you have to walk almost for 2.5 hours to reach Raton Glacier." And then we reached the glacier. For the first time in my life, I reached the glacier. I've never seen glacier in my life before. Walking on the glacier is very difficult. And then they started training us on the glacier, coming down, coming up. There are techniques of climbing and walking on the glacier. And almost for 7 to 8 days, we did the same thing every day, getting up in the morning and wearing the shoes and taking the bag, walking for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, and reaching glacier and getting trained there. And very tired. On the last day on HMI base camp, the instructor said, "Course good, well done. Your training is over now. Now you have to go back again to Darjeeling. But there's a twist. We will be doing the same trek, same weight, same path. But instead of 3 days, you will be doing this now in 2 days." Wow, 2 days. We were strong. We were actually, last 20 days, we were strong enough to take these kind of challenges. We started walking back, and we reached HMI base camp, HMI hostel in Darjeeling. And I still remember when we opened the door, and me and Vignesh were together. And we threw our bag and sat down. We took a big sigh of relief. And I was opening my shoes, and he was opening his shoes. And when he was opening his right leg shoe, I said, "Hey, wait, Vignesh. What's wrong with your leg? It's completely swollen. It's almost double." And he said, "Yes, Praveen, when I was removing my shoes, now it's paining a lot." I said, "Oh, please go to doctor tomorrow morning. And don't even think to do anything now. Go to doctor first." He said yes, and he nodded his head in agreement, and he slept. Now in the morning we were in the assembly. Now there's one thumb rule in HMI that if you're alive, you have to come for assembly in the morning. If you're dead, then it's okay. But if you're alive, you have to come in the morning. So 5:30 a.m. we all were standing, and then the course director said, "Course, good, congratulations. Your course is almost over now, and we have already decided your grades. Now getting A grade is a dream of everyone, whoever goes to HMI." And we thought, wow, grades are decided. But then he said, "Now there are some tests pending, but don't worry, the results of this test might not affect your grades, so don't worry. And the first test will be running test." And we said, "What? Running? Come on, please. We hardly walk. Many of us just can't stand also. How can you ask us to run now?" And you can see the picture how we were standing. And but then he said something very interesting. He said, those who are not interested in running, those who don't want to participate, please get aside. Don't worry, and we have already decided you're great. So I said, wow, good, thank you. And I was feeling very happy for Vignesh, because Vignesh was not in situation to run. And then I decided to run, and I ran, and then I was coming towards my finishing line. I completed my finishing line, and then I crossed my finishing line. I sat down, and I was just regaining my breath and controlling my, now just drinking water. And then I saw Vignesh was coming towards the finishing line, and he was not even running, he was just limping like this. I said, hey, Vignesh, come here. I made him sit beside me. I gave him water. I allowed him to take his breath under control again. And then I asked him something. I said, why? Are you crazy? Why you are running like this? You know your leg is not in good condition. He looked at me and he said, Praveen, I would have not got this opportunity again. I said, oh, come on. What opportunity you are talking about? Running 5 kilometers. You can run 5 kilometers anytime. He said, no, not that opportunity. Then what opportunity? He said, Praveen, opportunity where your heart, your body, your soul, your friends, your colleagues, your instructors, they all say, you can't do it. And then you say, no, I will. You don't get that opportunity again in your life. Or you don't get that opportunity. Very rarely you get these kind of opportunities. I got this opportunity, so I grabbed it. What you do when you get this kind of opportunity in your life? When your heart, body, soul, your friends, your colleagues, your family, all are saying you can't do it. Because if you are doing something difficult in your life, you will face this kind of situation. If you are not doing something difficult in your life, it means you are not taking challenges, you are not taking risks in your life. And if you are taking risks, if you are doing something challenging, difficult things, you will face this kind of opportunities where the whole world is saying you can't do it. That's the best opportunity. Grab it and say, no, I will. I learned this from Vignesh that day. What we should do when the world is saying you can't do it. And as a storyteller, whenever I learn something, it becomes my responsibility to share it. This is Praveen signing out. Until we meet again.